In this lesson, we'll move to the back of the vehicle and begin working on the trunk area. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this up. And so the first thing that we want to do, we have a front, top, and left view, but we want to actually have a back view. So if we right-click on, let's say, front, go to Views, and we'll choose Back. Now we need to actually add our back image in here. So with this viewport selected, we'll go to Views, Viewport Background. Let's go ahead and replace this front with our back view there. Say OK. And now we've got that back view. Okay. If you want to go ahead and hide some of these things, we can right-click on, say, the hood. If we want to do that, go ahead and hide selection. We can also turn on back face culling. So if we go to Display, back face cull, and that will just eliminate some of the pieces that we have back here. Okay. The first thing that I want to do is kind of shape this from the side view here. We'll go to Modify. I'm going to go down to Editable Poly, make sure this is turned off, and then I just want to line some of these pieces up a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and kind of just move this back. Okay. And I can kind of move this back, and let's go ahead and move this just up just a little bit. Okay. Same thing over here. And just kind of move that up. All right. Now the middle portion needs to come up a little bit. There's a little bit of a, as it comes up. So we'll go ahead and raise this up just a little. And then as we come in here, we'll raise that up a little bit more. And finally, we'll go ahead and raise this up so that we get that height in there. Okay. And we want to create kind of a nice transition there. So we'll go ahead and just grab these and kind of shape that a little bit more. So it's something a little bit more like that. All right. Now I can go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and make this the bottom part of this guy right in here. And then we'll go ahead and shape this a little bit more. So bring these in just a bit until you get something kind of like that. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take these polygons right in here. Go ahead and hit Q. I'm going to take these polygons just kind of facing the back, kind of these right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just inset those. And I'll just inset them just a little bit to begin with. So go ahead and inset those. And just something like that. It'll give us a little bit of a harder edge there. Okay. So you get something along those lines, right? All right. So now we need to create the topology here. We've got a line that's going to go right across where the trunk is going to cut across. You can see this comes up to the actual headlight. We need to actually shape this a little bit more to get this looking the way that we want it to. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these points and just pull these up a bit, okay, just so that it matches up with our back artwork a little bit better. All right. So now we can actually use our inset to kind of create some of this geometry in here. So let's go ahead and again select those polygons. This time we'll select the interior ones that we inset. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and inset these again. And this time I'm going to do it a little bit more. And this is going to actually kind of help us define where this light is, right? So I'd inset that. And now I can begin to move some of these points around. So I'll go ahead and just kind of move this down here. Let's go ahead and move this over and kind of straighten everything up a little bit. And this is, we're not going to worry about so much, but we need to have a line that comes down right in here. So let's go ahead and select these edges, ring select, and then with our connect, we'll add a line right in there. Okay. You could also come in and just slice through that if you wanted to. And I'll go ahead and just move this point over just to define the edge of where this taillight's going to be. Okay, and that'll actually define the trunk of it as well. Okay, and we can move some of these points down, kind of space these out a bit. Okay, now for this, we want them to kind of go straight across. We don't want it to cut across here because we're going to mirror this over to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the perspective view here. And let's go ahead and just get rid of some of these edges. So go ahead and get rid of kind of these edges here. Okay, and we'll get rid of this guy and that guy right there. And then we can start to kind of bring some of these edges across. Okay, we just want them to come kind of straight across. So we'll go ahead, go down to Edit Geometry, Cut, and just cut and go all the way to the end. Okay, we do the same thing here. We could actually get rid of this guy if we wanted to. So we have a little bit less geometry to worry about. And then go to Cut and cut straight across there. Do the same thing down here. And same thing down here. Just so that now that's going to go ahead and mirror across like we want it to. And we can come in and straighten this line up in here. And also this line down here. It's going to define the bottom of our trunk. Okay. And we can come in and make sure that we've got all this kind of smoothed out. So we'll select some of these points and just kind of move those back into the back in there a little bit. All right, so that's getting close. We'll take this corner and just kind of pull this out a little bit more, so we get kind of a nice smooth shape in there. Just take a little bit of time to do some shaping before we go on. Okay. Take this guy, and we can just pull this out a little bit so it's nice and straight across. All right. If you want to, you can kind of straighten things out by just pulling this across if you want to do that as well. All right, now if we take a look at this from the top, you can see that this is where the trunk's going to be cut through. So we just want to make sure that that's the correct line there. And we'll be able to maybe add another line right in here after we cut the door out. We can maybe do that. Okay, so we've got that built in. Let's go ahead and drag. I'm going to take these edges right here, these vertices, and just move them over a bit and back just a little bit so that it kind of just smooths things out just a little bit. All right. Now if we take a look at the side view, we can see that we've got a line right here that we need to keep. So I'm going to go ahead and take both of these points, just make sure they're lined up there. Okay. Take some of these and move them down. Take this guy and let's go ahead and move him down as well. Okay. And so now we've got this point right here, and we want it to kind of come in and intersect with this. See, we want it to kind of follow along here. Okay, so let's go ahead and, we go ahead and change that back to our left view. So what we can do is either use some of this geometry to actually fix that. So I can take this point right here, move that up, and then I can go ahead and draw across here with the cut. Okay, let's go ahead and just connect from this point, and we'll just go straight across, right across this line right here. Okay, and then we can take this edge coming down here and go ahead and delete that. Okay, and then if we want to take our points and just kind of smooth these out a little bit, we can do that. Okay, we can maybe move these up a little bit so we get kind of more of a smooth edge. And now we're starting to get some geometry, and now we just need to kind of connect this up. Right, so we can come in and grab our cut once again. So we'll go get the cut, and then let's go ahead and draw down from here to here, and let's just go kind of right to here. And well, we'll actually go right here. Give us a little bit of room there. And then we can go ahead and just add that extra geometry in there by just taking our edge, selecting the ring, and now going to connect, find our edit edges, connect, and we can leave that in the middle if we don't want to affect the shape. If we want it to be a little bit sharper, we can move it a little bit closer back. And then we'll do the same thing down here. Go ahead and select the ring. And now choose connect. And let's move it back a bit. Okay, now we'll go ahead and using cut, go ahead and just connect those up. And that's all this is doing, is just kind of giving us a place to cut this across. Right? So we can come down and make that cut for the for this panel. Okay, which we're not quite to that point yet, but we can go ahead and build in that topology. All right, so if we take a look at this, we can select these polygons. We need to go ahead and move this down, move this line right down to the bottom, basically, of that trunk. And then this guy as well. We'll just move him down here. Okay, so we're starting to get this. You can see where we can define that tail light by that selection there, and then we've got the trunk going up and over it. So this is where we want to go, the direction that we want to go with defining these pieces here. All right, so let's go ahead and come in the next lesson and continue on with the topology, and then we'll go ahead and cut out the tail light geometry as well as the trunk geometry. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that next.